An Emergent Christmas from thekingdomcome.com. Now the birth of Jesus was on the wise. When his mother Mary was engaged to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child. Then Joseph, her husband, being a closed-minded traditionalist and not willing to let go of his fundamentalist ideas about marriage, was minded to put her away privately, which would have been mean and judgmental of him. But while he thought on these things, behold, an angel came, or he entered a Buddha-like dream state. Joseph came to his loving and compassionate senses and decided to not put Mary away. While in the dream, Joseph heard a voice, which who are we to judge which God it may have been, if any at all, saying to Joseph, Mary will bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he shall help a lot of people feel better about themselves and their life experiences. Now all this was done that the text would look more consistent, but of course we know all the Gospels were written a long time after Jesus had actually died, so it is possible the whole story is just an embellishment by his followers. Anywho, then Joseph came out of the dream state and took Mary to be his co-partner in life. But he didn't try to consummate the marriage like many brutish men would, as if the woman is just their property or something. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem, which in modern times is rightfully controlled by the Palestinians since that land has been otherwise wrongfully occupied by Israeli Zionists, in the days of Herod, behold, there came really cool dudes from the east. When Herod heard these things, just like any other cruel authoritarian, he became jealous. And when he had gathered all the really mean religious people together, he demanded of them where Jesus would be born. And they said to him, in Bethlehem, which in modern times is rightfully controlled by the Palestinians. Oh yeah, I already said that. And you, Bethlehem, are a small place, but out of you will come a great healer, and a guy that teaches people to be real loving and peaceful, just like Buddha did, and Gandhi would later. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise guys, he asked them a lot of questions about astronomy and astrology, since Herod had been influenced by the Western culture of Rome, and he didn't know about the cool metaphysical stuff like they do in the East. And so he told them to go look for Jesus, probably using some sort of astronomical technology that the Western people were too dumb to invent. The cool dudes found Jesus in a stable, or it could have been a cave. We aren't really sure about anything. At any rate, even then, selfish capitalists wouldn't give Joseph and Mary a room, so they, like many people today, were homeless and out in the street. The wise guys went into where Jesus was born and gave him gifts, which was their way of showing they understood that it was God's dream for humanity that Jesus came to help poor people get back at mean rich people. The rest of the story gets too mean, but you know what happens. Jesus grows up and goes around the countryside preaching a socialistic gospel of peace, sort of like a first-century version of conflict resolution and anger management. But just like today, there were mean people then who didn't want to see poor people actually get anywhere, so they killed Jesus. Or he could have gotten married and lived in France and died of old age. We aren't sure of that either, but it's okay to be doubtful of everything you believe. Fortunately, lots of preachers today are getting back to Jesus' simple message of love and world peace. They are trying to help people with all sorts of benefit concerts, iPod incentives, and book sales. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or whatever you want to celebrate. Don't worry, we won't judge you. The end.